Good early morning, guys, at least for me. I only get a few hours sleep a night, and I wake up between 1 and 3:30. Like, I made it till then today because I was so exhausted. I haven't been getting enough sleep. I've been sleeping in my car, and I needed a shower. I hadn't had one for days, so I went to try to get a room, another grabbler situation. I had to get 3 different rooms, and every one was worse than the last one. They didn't even have phone in there to call the office to tell them about the problems. I had to keep walking or driving over there, and it's quite a ways because it's in 2 different places at this roadway inn. They didn't have Wi-Fi even. He said, oh, it'll be better in the room. There was none, non-existent. I couldn't even join the Wi-Fi. So after the 3rd room, I was so upset and everything. I just went ahead and took a shower and then went down and showed him a picture that I took of the blinds that I tried to lower so the light wouldn't come in. And the damn things were falling apart, and half of them were missing. And I'm really sensitive to light. So I'm in a parking lot outside of a JCPenney's that's going out of business. This is in Coeur d'Alene now. The one in Sandpoint is closed. They're all closing down. And now the Best Buys are closing down. So I want to go to the Pennies today and maybe find some jeans that might fit me because I like the Arizona Jean Company line that they carry, which I haven't been able to find. So maybe I can find some jeans that'll fit me because my pants are literally falling off of me. I'm down to like 100 pounds and falling. I don't get to eat. I don't eat this poison that everybody is eating. If you're shopping at any one of the major supermarkets, you are being poisoned to death. This is a slow, methodical takedown of mankind. This dumbing down shit has been going on for 6,000 years. People like to think they're so progressive. They have digressed and have it's awful what has been done to man. I don't even want to say human. Human is not even a noun. It's an adjective. A human is not correct in the English language. I know English, and they've are destroying the English language, changing words around, playing with that fucking Mandela bullshit. Okay, I drink water. I should drink water before I start. So here I am in my car. Now I slept in the front seat of my car, sitting up, because I have so much stuff in the back of my car. What I thought I'd like to do, if anybody has any advice, I was going to get a hitch welded on my car and get a small trailer if I could find one somewhere. So hopefully I can do that in a bigger city than Sandpoint. But I was advised not to weld it onto a Cadillac, to bolt it on, because it's a unibody. It's all one body. That's what makes it so strong, like a friggin' tank. I backed up into a post last night because I was so upset from the Grabbler Inn so many times, and I needed a room downstairs because of my foot. And then they said, yeah, okay. And then they said, oh, well, we only have them on the 2nd floor. and there's people partying there. They are just, it was like another party in with all the meth freaks that are around here. There are so many meth addicts. And that's like, in my mind, that's like the worst possible drug you could be on, because you get vacated so easily on that stuff, and the demons can come in and possess you. And it's so hard being around these entities that are like this. And I'm getting thrown out of everywhere I go because people can't handle my brilliance. And I mean that in a lot of different ways. I mean, my light shines so bright, people cannot handle it because of their guilt and shame. And then I realized that's why Beg Bear responded the way he did, because he's being found out. I literally have his physical address now. So I'm not going to announce it, but it's more than just his post office box. I've set things out in front of his post office box. My stomach's getting upset. Drinking water. Because I put minerals in there and stuff, because I hadn't been taking my supplements. I can't do any of this. A lot of this stuff I was doing as far as detoxing and fasting and all that, which has helped to really decrust my pineal gland, which people seem to want to make fun of because they're so stupid. So if you're going to make fun of me, I'm going to call you stupid, because the people that are supporting me are not coming at me like this. And I got way more support, at least 3 times as much support as I got these trolls and shills and whatever that are coming at me to make fun of me. So they can reject what I have to say. Their loss. I'm here to share my knowledge. Who's the wealthier person, me or Owen? He's got money, which I don't have. I don't even have a fucking phone. And the other night, in Sandpoint, I went to a back road where it was really dark and deserted. At the end of the road, where, it was kind of scary. I even had a bad dream where I saw a guy rolling a corpse down the hill. So anyway, it was snowy and icy, it's really cold, and I slid into the ditch and had to be towed out. I was sitting there in the dark, not knowing how am I going to deal with this. I had no phone, no Wi-Fi, nothing that I could reach out to anybody. And I'm just stuck there in the dark. And then finally somebody drove down the road. This young girl who saw that I was stuck, and she said, I'll go get what I thought she said her dad, but it turns out it was her boyfriend. And he came up and told me, there's a tow truck that'll be here in 20 minutes. He paid for the tow truck. And then they left and then came back and gave me a $50 gift certificate to McDonald's, which I appreciate, but I won't eat their food, so I will pay that forward or use it as some kind of bartering money, because I have no money. I'm living on credit. All I get is my Social Security, which is like $800 a month, and my $90 worth of food stamps. So I don't eat much. I eat less in a month than most people will eat in a few days, literally. My pants are falling off of me. That's why I need some jeans. So, and also, it turns out that this guy recognized me from the restaurant where he said he worked, but I connected the dots and figured out he has to be the owner, and I was right. I asked, and I got his name and her name, and They said, yes, he is the owner. Because I figured somebody, just a waiter, he just said I worked at the Mexican restaurant. He owns the Mexican restaurant. But he didn't tell me that, but I figured it out. It's like a waiter could not afford to send me a tow truck and give me a $50 gift certificate. So, I got a $50 gift certificate also from the food bank because I can't eat their food. And they saw my predicament. I could only take the lemons and a couple other things that I couldn't even eat. I ended up throwing them away. I don't eat food from Safeway and the supermarkets. I always made my own food, but I'm not in a situation to do that now. So, anyway, and I have not asked anyone for money. You can go check every one of my 100+ videos. I have not once, if anybody can show me where I've ever asked for money, do it. Call me out on, if you think I'm doing something wrong and lying to you, call me out on it. Go ahead. I am not out here to deceive people. I'm here to help people. Why would I do all this? I spent literally thousands of dollars to follow that man who misled me. While he takes money from everybody while he sits comfortably warm in his barn or whatever he's calling it. I could live in a barn. I want to live in a barn. I'd love to live in a finished barn. That's what I want. I don't want a palace. Please don't send him any more money, you poor bears that are way, way poorer than him. You need your money. You spend it on you. Take care of yourself. Have some self-worth. Go buy yourself something nice for yourself. Go buy some crystals. Invest in that. I'm here to help people that want to be helped. Those people that are putting me down or making fun of me or whatever, I will give them a couple of opportunities to come around. But 3 strikes, you're out. I will start to I don't want to use the word ban. I just do not want to be abused anymore. So I will go and tell you now about my history of abuse and why I'm an advocate for people being abused. As a child, I was molested, sexually incested by 5 family members. One member that was the boyfriend of my aunt, who, that was one of the last abuses I left before I left New York when I was 9 years old. But it was happening from at least the time of 2 and maybe earlier, but I have memories back to 2. So it could have been at 18 months or who knows. My stepdad, I was told was my father, who is not my father. My father is Wallace Stang, Wally, just like Owen's son's name. What are the chances of that? Oh, and by the way, the guy that helped me, sent the tow truck to get me out of that ditch in the dark, was from H Street in Blaine, which is where I came from. I'm from the Birch Bay, Blaine area, which is north of Gig Harbor from where Owen was. What are the odds that we're both born in New York and end up that close in Washington State? And now I'm here following his ass, thinking that I could join forces with him for the good, only to find out that he's not good. This has broken my heart. I'm devastated by this. And the stress it's causing me is just adding to my situation of being homeless now. I gave up a 3-bedroom residence in Gig Harbor. I have a Section 8 that I think I can still transfer to another county. I was going to transfer to Bonner County, but it ain't going to happen now. I don't even want to be near him. Now I understand why he reacted like that the first time I met him at the post office. He jumped back in his vehicle with his big ass dog in there and threatened to call the cops on me after he said, "What do you want? money, like he's reaching in his pocket to pay me off to get rid of me. It's like, how much is it going to take to get rid of you? That's not what he said, but that's what his actions said. And so he said, just stay away from me. And I think he threatened to call the cops. I'm pretty sure, but I don't want to say that. I don't want to be lying or anything. But then I also was told by another bear that if I go on Owen's property, I will. Bears have. Take my bear name off. I could just be Queen Bee. Because bees can take down a bear. And I'm not going to be a bear anymore. I'm just going to be Queen Bee. I will. Bees can sting a bear to death. Just because they're little. Like he just made that comparison with Joe Rogan about a little guy can take down a big guy. Well, a little bee can take down a big bear. So, we'll see who. Now he's got me against him instead of for him. I was his biggest supporter. I'd like to see anybody bigger. He would probably say, oh, somebody that gives him more money's a bigger supporter. Financially, maybe. But I was going around Sandpoint telling people about his channel and check him out. And now, one of the very first people that I told that I ran into at the store, a different store that she worked at, and told her, don't trust him now. I have to, every time I see somebody that I know that I told this to, but I told it to a lot of strangers. I told a lot of strangers, there's a Hollywood comedian here, making a fool of myself, I guess, but my intentions were pure and I was supporting this man that is now raping people for their money, their hard-earned money and their little bit of cash they're sending to him. He doesn't need it. You need it more than him. So back to being raped and molested as a child until I left New York at 10 years old, and then it stopped. Until I was 15, and then my stepfather grabbed me in the hallway and started French kissing me, sticking his nasty tongue in my mouth. And then after that, I was raped 2 times as an adult. So I've had my share of abuse, and I want to advocate for those who are abused, especially children, defenseless children like I was. I told my mother about my aunt's boyfriend this is going to be graphic, so you don't have to listen if you want to leave. He stuck his hand down my pants and was finger fucking me. And then I went and told my mother that what he was doing, and then she went and told her sister, whose boyfriend it was, and nothing was ever done or said about it again, ever. Can you imagine a child going through this their whole life and no one believing them and nobody protecting them? My own friggin' mother. I have done a lot of forgiveness of my mother, but I know there's still more to go because you can hear it in my voice. She did not protect me. And I think I thought that Owen could be a protector of me in my life. And look what it's turned out to be. Anything but that. Anything but that. I had a dream, and I just started dreaming lately because I am a medical marijuana patient. And I have been on that for a while. I don't use it to get high. I wish it would be nice to have a break sometimes, but I use it as medicine. I can't even get high. Maybe I will after being off it for a while. But the cops came and stole all my medicine. They took it because it's illegal in Idaho. So they took the very thing that gave me some relief, and I was not abusing it. I wasn't even taking it anymore. I was off of most of it, except they took all my CBD RSO is what I was depending on, the cannabis. It healed me. It kicked the cancer out of me. So do not think that cannabis is bad. He makes fun of that. He makes fun of a lot of things that are actually good for us. So I'm starting to see how dumbed down he is and ignorant of so much. I don't know how much of this video gets cut out, but if you notice on the other videos, at important points, all of a sudden there's no sound. Especially when I talk about the nano poisoning that he is not addressing. He is being nano poisoned himself. There's no way that he is growing every single food he needs and uses. Sure, they use all the stuff that they grow. What are they growing at this time of the year in Idaho? And he doesn't even have his farm fully set up. He has to be depending on food from the store. I'm pretty sure it was, I saw Amy in the market, in the supermarket, and I overheard the cashier saying to her, "So how's your husband?" I did not approach her at all. I don't want to scare her. If Owen's that scared, just imagine how scared Amy must be. And she's surrounded by testosterone. I thought I could go be a support to her as another woman. What does she have? The friggin' cows? That's all the female... Well, whatever. My intentions were always pure. And if people understand that, who are pure and innocent. I am totally innocent. I might be like an old lady with wrinkles and shit, but I'm like a child at heart. I'm gonna cry. I'm sorry. Stop it. It just pisses me off that I'm so rejected. But I can see why now. I'm going to ask my friend if he wants me to announce his name. So for anyone that would like to have readings from him, you can help support him by getting a reading. He does really excellent work. He's very knowledgeable about a lot of things. He's very young, but he has just wisdom beyond his years that he doesn't even know. So I would support getting him supported. So if anyone is interested in that, getting readings for themselves, I will promote him, but I will ask him first if he wants me to announce it. So I just want people to know where I'm coming from, that I am an advocate for people being abused. I've worked at the rehab places where I ran therapy, group therapy. And I also had group therapy sessions with battered women at another place, at Mariposa's Women's Center in California. These places were in California when I lived in California. And there's another place Owen was that I was. We were both in California, but I left there in 95 to get the fuck out of California just as he was coming in to be further programmed, and then he's immersed in Hollywood. You're gonna believe a Hollywood D-list celebrity over somebody like me that has all this experience and wisdom? I'm 30 years older than him. Don't you think in 30 more years he'd know some more shit? But he's misleading people. Like he misled me all the way here. I spent thousands of dollars I didn't have to follow this dream that he set me up for. And only to have this happen to me. Now I understand why he was so scared. It's not because of his knowledge. He's very highly intelligent, but so am I. I'm way more intelligent than him, and I scare the fuck out of him. Because of that intelligence and because of my light. His Merkaba ain't nothing like mine. If he even has one, I don't know. I haven't been physically around him. That's why people can't be around me. They can't handle the truth. Literally cannot handle the truth. And neither can Owen. I saw the fear in those pretty blue eyes, Big Bear. as he reached in his pocket asking, "What do you want? Money, money?" Like he could pay me off to get rid of me. That right there says a whole lot. Then the next time I'm in the post office, in front of him at the counter, putting in my change of address to there. My address there is still general delivery, Sandpoint, Idaho, 83864, just like his post office box, but mine is a general delivery. So if you want to contact me, you can contact me there. I have no physical address. I'm living in my car. I have my email address. You can email me. I may not be able to respond to everybody because I'm starting to get emails from all over the world. My address is katsy3333@gmail.com. He doesn't announce his email address. My phone number is 360-808-3333. My phone is not working. I don't even have a phone. I'm going to try to get some kind of phone today in case I get like in a ditch on a deserted road or run out of gas, which I almost did today. It was flat on E again. So I am not asking for money. I'm just asking for support and love and good vibrations to send me. I don't want people really preying on me. I do not believe in religion. Religion is part of the plan to take you down, to keep people separated and fighting. It's coming to me that the Civil War is what's going to happen here, just like it happened before. They pit the North against the South, like they pit the Democrats against the Republicans and the blacks against the whites and the this and the that. There is only one race, the human race. We all have different amounts of melanin in our skin. The pigment is called melanin. So what if somebody has more melanin than you? I have very little. I'm very pale. I'm like as white as a ghost compared to my friend in Africa who's like as black as coal. And he's only 24 years old and 24, and we have like a spiritual connection. I'm like the mother that he lost when he was a child. He didn't know his mother. And so I have a little following there from my boys in the Gambia and their sisters. So anyway, I wanted to give more of my background so people know where I'm coming from, that I'm an advocate for those being abused. And now I'm being abused, so I have to be an advocate for myself. But I have so much information to share, especially about the nano poisoning, and I'll probably get struck down. I got my first strike yesterday or the day before from YouTube on my bong hack video, talking about putting turpentine in my bong to keep it clean and to breathe in the vapors. Turpentine is an essential oil of pine. Look on the can. It says pine tar. I'm not telling you to drink the stuff from the hardware store, but if you get pure turpentine, you can take it internally. Just take little bits of it. But you could just pour it into a water pipe and inhale it. That's an easy way to get it, and it keeps the pipe clean. Look at my video on that. Go back if you want to see what I look like. I've aged a lot in the last year and got ADD. Who else got ADD in the last year? I know other people have. Just in the last year. I haven't had that my whole life, and now all of a sudden I have it. So my third video I put up shows me in Bellingham, Washington, smoking a doobie at 4:20 p.m. So you can see what I look like there. And I was 68 in that picture. So you can see my spirit there. You can see how alive I am and what they are doing to me. This whole targeted individual term was put out there to discredit people like me. I am truly targeted, and you wouldn't even know what that's like. Owen might get targeted, but I thought maybe that's why he was scared, but I don't think so. I see now why. Because he has something to hide. So, if anybody's interested in getting readings with my friend, let me know. You have my information. You think Owen would give his friggin' phone number? His real address, which I have. I have his real address. I could go right to his house. But I was threatened to be shot, but I ain't afraid of that. I'd welcome being shot. I don't want to be in this evil world, but I will not take myself out. They are trying to get me to commit suicide. The dark forces are against me. If you read the Ringing Cedars of Russia series, the 9-book series, you would understand some of this stuff. How Anastasia, the first book that I gave to Owen, that has my picture in it with me and my younger sister and younger brother when we were kids, both of which are deceased now. I am outliving all my brothers. There is 2 left. There's 8 of us. Except my, well, no, I'm outliving them all. I have one older brother, and I'm older than all the rest, and I'm outliving them. And my older brother, who died of cancer a couple years ago, I didn't know he was my brother. I was told he was my uncle. And then I found it out. I intuitively know things. I connect dots all over the place. This is how I found out about Owen and different things. I was being deceived. But I got to know my brother as my brother before he died. And he was like 5 years older than me and lived in a different house as my grandmother's son when he was my grandmother's grandchild, just like me. So, and my sister and brother have nothing to do with me anymore. They don't want to know the truth. And they both have different fathers. We all have different fathers of us 3. And I found out that about my father and got confirmation about it. And my mom finally admitted it before she died and told me the truth. So I'm going to let this go now because I'm just going on too long, so it doesn't become too long of a video. It's already a half an hour long. So, I don't know, maybe I'll start putting out shorter clips here and there just as my thoughts go by, but I'm so busy trying to stay warm and, try to function in this world where I'm being attacked everywhere I go. I'm getting thrown out of stores by these little fucking Nazi millennials who think they have power because they have their store behind them. They wouldn't fucking talk to me like that if we were in a back alley. You think? At my age, I would still take them down. They wouldn't even approach me in an alley or just even on the street at all and talk to me like the way they talk to me, bossing me around like they got fake phony power they're trying to lay on me. It's ridiculous. I mean, I had people, that went under the spell that were so nice to me at the store. And all of a sudden, then when this happened, they started abusing me and treating me like shit because they have this fake power. They think they got power. They wouldn't do this to me on the street, talk to me that way. They'd be scared to death of me only because they got a fucking corporation behind them. A corpse-oration. Corpse. You hear that? Corpse? There's only 10 major corporations that run this world, this country. Pepsi and Nestle and all that stuff. The only thing Nestle I do is Haagen-Dazs, even though it's got fucking skim milk in it to counter out the cream and just make it whole milk. But it only has 5 ingredients in it and it has egg yolk in it. So I'll probably get some today. Maybe I can find a little bullet thing and throw in some eggs I got from a local farmer. And my diet is so limited. You guys why do you think it's called diet? Die you. You die. Quit eating at the supermarket food. Grow your own. Make your own food. Everything with natural flavors, avoid it. Go look up HEK 93, human embryonic kidney. What do you think is in these natural foods? It's more than MSM. I don't believe this medical medium either. He's misleading people. He's dropping loads of truth, and then he interjects that bullshit. Why is he hooking up with the Hollywood stars now? Beyonce and Jay-Z. They are switched up. These couples and most of the world stage are switched up. You look at them real close. I'm a hairdresser. I can see their hairlines, their ears, and everything I've always looked at. And I'm a massage therapist, which I've worked on a lot of body. I know this tranny, it's called a transfiguration. It's more than just a little tranny getting a change, but they're programming people to do this. It's a whole fucking agenda to take us down. Please believe me. You don't have to believe me. It's your loss. But I'm telling you, I'll be talking more about this because it's all the world leaders. I'm calling Trump a female. I'm calling Justin Trudeau a female. I'm calling Fauci a female. I'm calling Bill Gates a female. I'm going to be doing an impersonation video of Bill Gates because I can make myself look like him. I'm a hairdresser. But I'm also an artist, drawing many, many nude bodies. I know a man when I see a man, and I know a woman. Hips don't lie, Shakira. Shakira's a man. All the Victoria's Secret models are men. Why is it called Victoria's Secret? It's a secret, all right. Too bad people don't see it. I have such claircognizance from all the fasting and detoxing I've done, and if you stop eating the fucking food and start detoxing, you might clear your pineal gland and start to see some of this shit that's going on. Sorry for my language, but I can't help it. I was in an explosion that I told them it was going to happen. I was above an electrical room in a place where I lived, and I told them like at least 3 times that something is going to go down, something's going to happen down in that electrical room. Do something. Yeah, it exploded all right, and my room was right above it. They had to evacuate the whole building and put up all the tenants all around town. This is in Port Angeles, Washington, where I got displaced from. I have a Section 8 because I got displaced from there that I offered Owen he could like rent me something under my Section 8 and get up to $1,500 a month for it. That's what I was doing before I left. I gave up my place on January 31st to follow that fucker that misled me. So anyway, after that explosion, it somehow broke my filter and I started swearing like a sailor. So if you can't handle my language, go away. I ain't censoring myself for nobody. If you don't like what I have to say, go away. I don't care. It's your loss. I do care. I shouldn't say that because I do care. I care way too much for mankind. And I want to help everybody. I mean, everybody where I can. I'm a compulsive sharer. I share everything I have, even when I shouldn't sometimes maybe. Look at my video where I made that nice plate of like lunch for him. The guy that kept lying, he's a compulsive liar, and kept getting me in trouble to the point where I was almost evicted. And I just left. I gave it up. I gave up the whole place I had, and I made myself homeless. This is part of their agenda. Look at how many people are homeless. Look at the amount of suicides. And my gut tells me that people have committed suicide because of Owen's incessant banning for life. You're banned for life. When they place their hopes in this man and he could just destroy them like that. My gut tells me people have literally died because of this man. And this is really upsetting me. I am so upset. about this. So I'm going to try to calm down. It's like I woke up at like 3:30. I got a few hours sleep sitting up in my car. There's too much stuff in the back, so I want to get a trailer. If anybody knows about hitches and trailers or how I can do that, that would be a big help. I would love to have a schoolie, a school bus, like, and remodel it, but I'm on my own. Who else would do Owen wouldn't do this. He's so fearful, and I'm so fearless. He wouldn't be out doing what I'm doing. Could you imagine? I have nobody with me. I'm traveling alone as a 69-year-old woman, and he couldn't help me at all. None of his bears helped me at all. I reached out. I said, where's the bears? Where are they? Where's this treaty? Where's all this stuff he's promising? It ain't happening. Keep your money, guys. Don't send it to him. Do something good for yourself. Go start something. Build something. Buy materials and just even if it's just a birdhouse. Start building. Start building your own life. Don't give your money to him. He doesn't need it. You need it more than him. So I'm going to leave this on that note. Do not come here. People are saying they want to come here. Don't put your hopes on this man. Put your hope in yourself. Raise your own self up. God bless you all, and may you be well and healthy. And if I can help you in any way, contact me, and I will to the best of my ability. I won't have much time to respond to everybody, but I will when I can. So, much love to you all. Blessings.